Hey guys, welcome back to another YouTube video with Tank Reaper today. And today we are playing World of Warships. And what we're doing World of Warships at Tank, we're covering the Tier 3 Royal British Battleship HMS Orion. The Tier 3 Royal British Battleship. And first of all, we are going to be covering over the captain and some of the stats of the ship and all of that. Now, let you know as well that most people are probably going to say about using HE on the British battleships, simply because the British battleships are pretty decent with their HE rounds, only for firing setting chances. Otherwise, I would deal with AP, because if you're fighting against a cruiser, especially down here at this tier, like if you're fighting against the Phoenix or the Omaha, which is a tier 4 American cruiser, which they're made with citadels, and well, you can citadel them pretty easily with AP rounds. Yeah, until the game decides, no, you're not getting a citadel. You can get that sometimes in this game, sadly. When you should get a citadel, it's like, nope, you're not getting a citadel. So that's a little bit BS right there, but it is what it is for the game. But let's get right started. The ship does lead on to two different kinds of ships. The first one being the Royal British Carriers, which is a Tier 3 carrier called HMS Hermes. I am probably butchering that name. I'm so sorry, Britain. I am so sorry. Please forgive me. And the next ship is called HMS Orion Duke, which is the Tier 4 Royal British Navy's battleship, which will be another ship review we'll be doing. So, yeah. And my modifications I put on this ship is main battery mod 2. Main battery traverse speed is 20%. It really helps the battleship turn its guns pointing at the enemy a little bit more quicker, so that way you're actually getting those big guns pointing at something much more faster than normal. I try to go for main battery build for my British, my Americans, my Japanese, my Russians, and my French. Where the Germans and the Italians, I try to go for like more of a secondary build on those battleships and stuff. But yeah, that is something that I definitely would do with the battleships for the British Navy. It depends on which way you want to do it. If you want to go for a secondary build for the British battleships, or maybe if you want to do this, aiming system mod 2, or mod 1, not mod 2. I'm sorry for that, guys. But that would, one of these two could help, but it depends on your type of play style, which way you want to do it, and stuff like that. The loadout. The ship gets HE and AP. Normal, what you expect. And then it gets a damage control party. Consumable duration is 15 seconds. Reload time is 80 seconds. And you get unlimited of these. So let's keep it in mind. Repair party. HP per second is 272. Consumable duration is 23.2 seconds. And reload time is 80 seconds. You get 3 of these to remember that. But also to remember British battleships as well. I'm not sure if this starts at Tier 3 or Tier 4 and higher, but they get a powerful heal when they use their damage control party, or not damage control party, their repair party. They actually get a pretty powerful heal where basically you can reprint your ship, especially if you're dealing with a ship called HMS Conqueror, which I'm not going to go over that ship right now because that's a more further video in the future of actually doing a ship review of. So yeah. And then it gets a enhanced secondary targeting system, which I don't know why they put it not allow you to pick what you want. For me, I probably would have used a spotter plane, so that way maybe I could use it to spot enemy ships and stuff, or something like that. But you get this instead, so yeah. Your secondary battery shell grouping is 100%. Secondary battery dispersion time is 50%. Consumable duration 30 seconds. Reload time is 160, and you only get 3 of these. Now, I would only use this if a destroyer is getting close to you and you can see the destroyer, so that way your secondaries are just opening up firing on that little destroyer. So that you don't have to worry about with your main batteries, though I would still worry about as well. Or if you're getting into a brawl fight with a battleship, or maybe a cruiser, which I wouldn't do that with a cruiser, because most cruisers gets torpedoes. So yeah, that is something to keep in mind. And then the stats of the ship. Now, there's a part of the stats that you're going to have to keep memorizing especially when you're in a battleship and stuff like that. But that's where your matter does it. The hit points of the ship is 42,700, and the torpedo damage reduction is what I'm talking about, is 13%. This means is how much damage are you less likely going to be taking from a torpedo. Now, most of the time, it really doesn't seem like it really be effective, because of if a destroyer gets on your side and gets real close range, they're going to one-shot you with all their torpedoes. So with a single torpedo salvo, it's just going to kill you. I know I have had it done to me, and I bet a lot of you guys have had this done as well. So yeah, keep that in mind, man. The main batteries are 343mm 45 Mark 5s. You get 5 of these guns. I will show you what I mean is 5. Firing range is 14 kilometers, not 14 points, 14 kilometers. I'm sorry for that, guys. Reload time is 30 seconds. Turning time is 54.5 seconds. Max HE shell damage is 4,700. Not the biggest amount of damage, but it's the firing saving chance is 41%. So you got 41% of setting somebody on fire with HE, which is a big chance for a battleship. That's what I mean. British battleships are pretty decent with their HE. But AP does real good damage too. Max AP shell damage is 9,500, which is very good for the battleship. Your secondary armaments is 102mm 50 BL Mark 7 guns. You get 16 of these. Firing range is 3.5 kilometers. Reload time is 7.5 seconds. Max HE shell damage is 1,500. Firing saving chance is 7. You get another secondary armament, which is a 120. Wow, I wish it was a 120, but it's actually a 102mm 45 QF Mark XIX gun. I'm not sure what that means, Rumble Noodle. I'm sorry for that, but you only get 4 of these. These are actually not just your secondary, but actually your AA guns as well, so keep that in mind. Firing range is 3.5 kilometers, reload time is 3 seconds, max HE shell damage is 1,500, and firing saving chance is 7. Now let's get into the AA, so which most of the time doesn't really matter, does it, with the AA. Aero groups could still get past your AA somehow. Or does they do that on console? Well, yeah. The ones that's mostly, well, not mostly, is your short-range anti-aircraft guns. It's your 12.7mm Mark III guns. You get 4 of these. Average damage per second is 8. Firing range is 1.2 kilometers. Your mid-range AA guns are your 40mm 39 QF Mark II guns. You get 4 of these. Average damage per second 23. Firing range is 2.5 kilometers. And your long-range anti-aircraft guns is your 102mm 45 QF Mark XIX guns, which you get 4 of these. Average damage per second 38, and firing range is 5 kilometers. So that's your secondary along with your AA guns. So keep that reminder, that guys, that you have a guns that is your secondary, but it's also your AA. So I guess that's a good side for the British battleships. The max speed of the ship is 22.24. I'm sorry for that, guys. It's 22.4 knots. That's how fast the ship is. So, yeah. The turning radius circle is 610 meters. I am sorry for that. English, huh? Believe it. Believe it or not, I am American. So, your ship time is 12.5 seconds. And then get concealment. I mean, this is a battleship, so it doesn't have the best concealment. Detection range by sea is 12.6 kilometers. After firing your main batteries is 14 kilometers, and when the ship is on fire, it's 14.6 kilometers. When your ship's on fire, it does bloom out, and people can see you a lot more easier. So let that be known. But also, if you fire your main batteries, your bloom just goes massive when you're playing a battleship. So keep that warned that if you after you fire your guns, you're gonna be spotted very quickly. The detection range by air is 10 kilometers. After firing your main batteries is 16.9 kilometers, and when the ship is on fire is 13 kilometers. This means, like, if an aircraft carrier has this air group over nearby, they can see you a lot more faster, especially if you after you fire your guns and the ship's on fire. Which, why do that when if there's a enemy ship nearby, they could also see you too. So yeah, ground detectability range is 2 kilometers, and detectability range after firing in smoke is 10.6 kilometers. Now keep this remembering, Matt, that battleships don't get a protective firing penalty unlike a destroyer. Destroyer can shoot through smoke without being spotted. Battleships can't. Once you fire your guns, you're getting spotted. It doesn't matter if someone else laid the smoke down for you and stuff, you're getting spotted. So, but also remember this as well. I've said this in my destroyer replays as well, gameplays, ship reviews, that if you put down a smoke, if a destroyer puts down a smoke, it acts like a double-edged sword. Meaning, yes, you will go undetected, but you can't see the enemy ships either. Meaning, you would need that destroyer to either get out of the smoke to spot for you, or maybe the cruiser. If a cruiser lays down smoke, because there is some cruisers that can do that. So that is something to be warned about, guys. The armor of the ship, we're going to be talking about the first bits of the armor, and this is a battleship, so yeah. The bottom is 30, fore-end deck is 19 to 25, the fore-end plates are 19, fore-end armor belt is 102 to 152. Remember, 102 and 152, so it ranges between one of those two. Fore-end athwart ship is 38 to 152. The bottom is 30, which is another part of the bottom. Aft end deck is 19 to 76. The aft end plates are 19. Aft end armor belt is 63. Aft end athwart ship is 38 to 154. The side plates are 25. Top side plates are 13. Cooling tower top is 38. Cooling tower bottom is 25. Cooling tower side is 279. That's pretty thick armor right there. Side plates are 13. The deck is 25 to 38. Athwart ship is 152 to 203. Armor belt is 203 to 305. That's actually even more yet. Athwart ship is 203 to 254. The top plates are 76 to 102. Rear plates are 203. Side plates are 279. Bottom plates is 51. Barbotta armor is 76 to 254. And frontal plates is 279. The deck is 19. Athwart ship is 19. The athwart ship, which is another part of the athwart ship, is 19. The plates are 19 as well. The Citadel athwart ship is 25 to 38. The Citadel bottom is 38. The Citadel athwart ship is 25 to 38. The Citadel deck is 25. Citadel torpedo bulk head is 25 to 38. And we're going to show you where the Citadel is, so that way you know how much of the side of the ship should you give and stuff like that. As you see, it's actually at the waterline, and it's a pretty long Citadel. So that is something to be warned about. It's a long Citadel, but it's at the waterline, so you would have to shoot at the waterline the Citadel, the HMS Orion. So if you find one of these things, you get the sides, and you have enough penetration with your main batteries, shoot them around right here. A little bit, as you can see, kind of like a little bit underneath the front turret and the rear turret as well. Freaking game anyways. As you can see, the front turret and the rear turret, if you aim behind those a little bit, you'll be definitely citadeling the ship 100%. So do keep that in mind if you're fighting against one of these things, if you're on the receiving end. But we'll show you the main batteries as well. As you can see, it gets main round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 main gun turrets, which 2 guns in each one, so that's a pretty decent amount of guns. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Around 10 guns. So total together, it probably gets around 10 guns. Yeah. That is something to be keep warned. It only has 5 gun turns. So what it meant is that you only getting 5 gun turns. It wasn't meaning the guns you're getting, it just meant the gun turns. So if you're worried about it saying only 5, don't be. You're getting 10 guns, but only in 5 different placements. So that is something to be keeping warned about there, guys, if you're so worried about how many guns you're going to be having in the battlefield. But you know what, guys? Oh wait, there's one other thing I forgot to do. My captain, which I have him in here. I'm very surprised I have him, not you. Or is it you? It's this guy I'm supposed to have on here. Don't know why I had the other guy on there. But let's go over some of the stats. His main ability-based trait is contract diversion. Battleship's main battery shell grouping is 1.25%, and then I have on here Flammable Cononor. Battleship main battery range is 4%. Battleship main battery shell grouping is 2%, and risk of catching on fire is 10%. So that's something good. Grating drill bits. I have that as his other perk. Battleship gun traverse speed is 0.4. Battleship main gun AP shell grouping is 3%, and max battleship speed is 7%. Trying to get the ship pretty much a little bit more quicker. I got marksmanship. Dispersion of main batteries is 3%, and rudder shift time 5%. And I have reaching out XXL. Main battery range is 1%. It's because his level, higher the level the captain is, more better your perks become. His legendary perk is Will to Rebuild. Armor of HP received is 27.5%. Repair party duration is 20%. Special effects rate of repair per second is 0.5, and auto repair when HP is required to or less than 20%. So that is something to keep in mind. I mean, you could switch it up to one of these other 2 perks, but that's the one I picked on my British captain. But that's probably it for the well, it is it for the port review of this Royal British battleship. And let's take her out into a gameplay there, guys. See how she does in a gameplay. See you there. So we're back on Solomon's Island, and this is actually the first gameplay I got in today with the ship. I got another one, but I'm just going to save that other one for its own separate video. Yeah, it's a pretty simple fact that that's what I'm going to do. But we're definitely top tiered, and definitely there's something happens in this gameplay that you guys could let me know that I was doing, but I didn't know I was doing it. I mean, it was a good thing, but in a way it was a bad thing because where I was aiming at. So you guys, if you see it, let me know in the comments. I know where I made a mistake at. That should have been using the right ammunition for at the right situation, or at least aim a little bit more differently than what I did. If you probably know, that's good. You probably know what I'm talking about. I am looking around, seeing what my teammates are doing. I do have a cruiser friend coming over this way, so I decided to, go over this way as well. Besides, we have 2 other battleships, the Ishishi, which is a Tier 3 Japanese, the Imperial Japanese Navy's battleship, and the USS Wyoming, I think that is? Well, that's a Phoenix. I mean, that's an American cruiser. But I am spotted, which, come to know about it. There's only 2 destroyers in each team, which I'm fine with. There's a little bit more battleships on this game. Around 2 cruisers, actually 1 cruiser for my team and 2 for the enemy team. But we do see a Wyoming over there. We fire our main batteries at him. I think he hits like once, yeah. And we do bounce, or actually shatter one of our rounds off of his hull. And there's another battleship, I do spot him. It's the Gungent. It's a Tier 3 Russian battleship. As you can see, we have, I think, the cruiser behind me trying to fire. I'm hoping the battleships are coming too as well, so that way we could actually start shooting at these guys with bigger guns, more big guns. I was going to aim for the gun giant, but I decided to aim for the Wyoming. Nice big hit. 3 penetrating, 2 shattered. Okay. I'm starting to think about pulling away because I'm not real sure about my battleship friends over here. It's just me and the cruiser basically looks like it's fighting. Now it looks like the battleships are actually doing something. So I decided, okay, you know what, let's go forward. Let's see if we can do more damage to these two guys. And we shots out on the gun giant because it looks like he has more of my side now because I'm trying to turn inwards. He misses his salvo at me, or at least one of his gun turrets. I'm never sure where he didn't fire them all at me, but that one actually hit a little bit, but not by much. He still has one more gun turret to fire, actually 2, but it looks like one's facing the opposite way and starting to turn slowly. But we do spot something, and my commander says battleship, so yeah. We fired out, we hit the gun giant pretty hard. I'm looking around, the Wyoming's over there, and right over there is the USS Wicks. I'm not really too afraid because we're out of his torpedo range, so torpedoes coming from him isn't that big of a deal. I thought we still had our cruiser left because I was more worried on the battleships that was in front of me. Then I realized, well, we are down 1 cruiser, down 1 destroyer. One of my gun turrets gets get knocked out, and because I have AP already loaded, I start shooting at the Wicks, and I decided to switch to HE. I mean, it's a good choice to switch into HE for a destroyer, because you're going to do more damage, and this guy's just sitting over there. So I slow down, and I'm going to go in reverse as well, so that way I'm not fully over the air with the 2 enemy battleships, and if they have any other support over there. My guns reload except 1 gun turret. We fire, not enough heading, and none of those shots actually did anything towards the destroyer. So I set my secondaries on this guy, and I still have HE loaded. And now keep an eye on what I'm going to be doing here. Now, at the time, I didn't know what I was. I thought I may have just switched back to AP, but I guess I didn't. My secondaries are hitting the Wyoming pretty much. My other gun actually reloads, and you see where I hit 1 pen. I was thinking to myself, I should have done more damage. I was thinking to myself, why didn't I do more damage? And now by looking back on the replay, I know why I didn't do more damage than what I was supposed to. Though my secondaries did catch a fire on the Wyoming and actually doing pretty much, well, flame tick. So I'm aiming again. My secondaries are still firing. Try and aim for his spout. Again, but I catch him on fire. I'm like, oh, that's weird. And I guess I wasn't paying attention to my ammunition loadout. Instead, I was trying to... Well, do you blame me? I mean, I have a battleship right there, a battleship over there, and a destroyer. And if I give my broadside to either one of these guys just a little bit, they're going to hit my citadel. And that's not something I want. This gun giant has to die. I'm still wasn't knowledgeable of my ammunition switch, because, like I said, would you blame me? Being in the middle of 2 battleships and a destroyer that could get close to me and actually hit me. So I'm aiming at the battleship. A good shot. I was expecting for a kill. I was like, what? Why wasn't that not a kill? But now I know why I didn't kill him. Although I am getting a reset because of the Wyoming being in the side of the capture point. They are definitely focusing their fire on me, and our Wyoming is AFK. We get citadeled by the enemy Wyoming. And I'm getting ready to fire, and the battle ends. Yeah. The enemy won that battle, but you know, that's gonna be it for this video there, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, please leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you guys want to. And like always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye for now.